Hi, welcome back to Taronga TV. I'm with Danielle. She's a carnivore keeper, a meerkat keeper right at this point in time. Danielle, thanks for having us here. We are in somewhere very special, aren't we?
We are in our brand new purpose-built meerkat exhibit in the Savannah precinct.
This is so exciting, folks. This is the new African Savannah exhibit where you've got lions, giraffe, zebra, meerkat, fennec foxes. You have to come and see this. It is absolutely fantastic. We have a very special meerkat right on your lap at the moment. Is this Nairobi?
This isn't Nairobi.
I always mess that up. Where is Nairobi?
Nairobi.
She's coming back.
Marys! Marys! Oh, hello. Thank you for coming.
So
this one is Nairobi. So Nairobi is the most important meerkat in our whole group, and she is our dominant female, and she's the mother of all the other meerkats. She's actually had 16 children. So I'm sprinkling out some fly pupae at the moment, and that's just to say thanks for coming over and seeing us.
So that's a lovely little snack for them. These little guys do similar things to us, don't they? They're diurnal. Can you sort of talk to us about what would go on the day of a life of a meerkat?
Yeah, so being diurnal, that is very similar to us. It means that they wake up as the sun comes up, and then as the sun sets, they will go to sleep. And during the day, they are incredibly active. So they spend their day fossicking in the soil and the sand, so looking for bugs and grubs. They will spend their day sorting out their social hierarchy, who's the most important meerkat and who is lower down in the rankings. There's generally always a meerkat on sentry duty, so that meerkat is looking out for any potential danger or predators or threats to the group, and will let them know by letting out an alarm call or an alarm bark. We tend to find that when we're in here with the meerkats, that they don't really go on sentry duty because they think, oh, they're here. They can do it for us.
Yeah, right. So we're looking after them and we're giving them a bit of a feed. Now, in the wild, you said some grubs and some invertebrates, different insects. They will take on scorpions as well, won't they?
Guaranteed. They will take on scorpions. And if a scorpion was to sting a meerkat, nothing will happen. They're actually immune to the scorpion venom.
Wow. They do, and they also, if a snake comes close, there's an incredible behaviour that happens with them there, isn't it?
Yeah, so meerkats can actually synchronise their movements, and instead of looking like lots of individual animals, they can actually trick any predators into thinking it's one large animal. And they can always also attack a cobra or a snake.
Yep.
And once again, if they're bitten, nothing happens. They're immune to that as well.
And if would they kill it?
They can kill it.
Yeah.
So we do sometimes give them snake skins here, and you'll see similar behaviours when we do that.
That's interesting. Now, in our care, they get very, very different food. You just put down some fly pupa. Can I have a look at some of that so I can show everyone? So fly pupa is yeah, there we go, beautiful. Now, I'm not going to eat this on camera, but I'm going to just show you here, okay? They find this very scrumptious. I'm going to put a little bit out for us. Marys, come. Just like this. What else would they get?
So they get fed several times throughout the day because they've got very fast metabolisms. So they need to eat small amounts of food often. So we'll give them, first thing in the morning, a day-old chick or a mouse or an egg to say thank you for coming inside. And we check their health. We check that they're eating properly and that they do have an appetite. During the day, they get lots of different insect feeds like mealworms, crickets, cockroaches, fly pupae like we're giving them now, maggots, anything that flies in this exhibit, they will eat.
I can feel your mouth watering there, folks. It's a smorgasbord.
It is, and they also get an omnivore mix, and that's a mixture of fruit and vegetables. And we put a little bit of vitamin mineral powder on it for their a nice balanced diet.
That's a really broad diet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what they would sort of have the opportunity to do in the wild.
Definitely, and these guys, they were all born here at Taronga, but they still have their wild behaviour and their wild instinct. So if a bird was to fly into this exhibit, the meerkats actually work together and will try and catch it, and have done so in the past.
Yeah, right. That's very, very true. So on the animal that's on sentry duty, now this is something that I'd love to share with people. They will be up on sentry duty. If they see a predatory bird, for an eagle or a bird of prey, what would they do?
they'll let out an alarm call or an alarm bark specific to what they've seen. So the sound depends on what they've seen, and the family knows by hearing that sound what they need to do, if they need to be alert or if they need to seek shelter. And if it's one of those things that really scare meerkats, then they will seek shelter, because a predatory bird like that is a danger to a meerkat. They can fly in and take them away and eat them. So the meerkats will hide under the logs, under the rocks, until they start to peer out and decide it's safe to come out again.
And they take turns at it, don't they? Like, is it always one particular animal, or are there some animals that are better than others at it?
They do take turns being sentry duty. They learn originally from their mum and dad, but some of them do take their own slant or their own sort of way of doing it. So we actually have a male. His name is Luwazi, and he's living in our male group, which is in our original meerkat exhibit. And when he is on sentry duty, he tends to spend his whole time barking, going meow, 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 meow,
Right.
as if to say, everything's fine, we're okay, don't worry. And if he sees danger, he's silent. So he's got it around the wrong way.
Yeah,
And
okay.
when he's on sentry duty, the others tend to keep a little eye out for themselves, just because they know they can't really trust what he's saying.
That's very interesting. Now, Danielle, we see some really beautiful social behaviour here. They all know where they stand in the mob, and who goes first, who can get what. There might be a little bit of a tussle, but they sort it out because they're a group.
Yes.
In the wild, if two mobs came together, that can be a very different story.
Yeah, so meerkats, they will actually fight each other. They have their set territories, and if they start to encroach on other meerkat groups or meerkat mobs' territories, they will fight, and they can actually kill each other. They're quite aggressive fighters. Within a social group, there's two sorts of fighting, two types of fighting. One is one that's just sorting out the hierarchy, and that's where they tend to bite each other's cheeks. And that way they'll be like, okay, you're lower ranking than me, I'm higher ranking than you. The other type is where they'll bite the base of the tail, and that's to drive a meerkat out of the group. That's quite serious, that type of fighting. And if the meerkat doesn't leave, then they could get some serious injuries.
And has that happened within our group in the zoo?
It has, because these guys just have all their wild behaviours. They have done both levels of fighting, and we've actually had to manage our group of meerkats to sort of help them or guide them along in sorting out their hierarchy. And one of the ways we've done this is to create these habitats, and the females are now living here and the males are living in our original habitat.
So that sort of thing, would that happen in the wild, or probably not like that?
It probably wouldn't happen like that. We've been managing the meerkats, so we've got 17 meerkats. We've been managing them in the one habitat for over 2 to 3 years with this fighting amongst the group. And sometimes we get them into one cohesive group, other times we manage them as 2 groups, sometimes 3 groups, depending on what's happening in their hierarchy and within their group. And we just thought, let's just try separating the sexes and see if everyone gets along having the separate sexes. Well, only time will tell, really.
Yeah. Well, it's a great opportunity, isn't it, now that we've got 3 meerkat exhibits here at Taronga Zoo, which is absolutely incredible. And this is part of the Savannah, absolute magnificent Savannah precinct. And you have to come, because you start this, you can start it up the top, and you go through these beautiful big mosaic baobab trees, and you go past our chimpanzees on the right, past and down to lions are back, and then you see meerkats, and you come through zebra and giraffe, and the list goes on, and fennec foxes. Let's not forget fennecs. We love our fennecs, and I know
Definitely.
Dan loves her fennecs. There's so many things to see back here, and we really urge you to come to see a completely transformed area that you would have probably seen, that gorgeous spot where we see giraffes over Sydney Harbour. It's changed, it's back, and it's better than it's ever been, and we can't wait to have you here. Thanks, Dan, for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time on Taronga TV. You never know what's around the next corner, particularly at the Savannah precinct. We'll see you soon.